Welcome, everyone, to the inaugural America's Seed Fund Startup Expo, brought to you by the U.S. Small Business Administration. As the Associate Administrator and Head of SBA's Office of Investment and Innovation, I would like to personally thank you for investing your time with us today. We are thrilled to have you join us and share your important perspective as we celebrate America's Seed Fund and the innovative companies supported throughout their journey from lab to market by this incredible program, the Federal Small Business Innovation Research and Tech Transfer Program. With over $4 billion awarded each year to over 4,000 small businesses, America's Seed Fund is the largest source of non-dilutive capital for small businesses working day in and day out on the world's most important scientific and technological challenges and opportunities. America's Seed Fund is the foundation upon which the federal government's incredible innovation research and development programs are built. In a competitive global innovation environment, America's Seed Fund is table stakes for our country's long-term economic vibrancy and global leadership. Today, we are here to tell the stories and share the journeys of Americans across the country leading innovative change, bringing ideas from lab to market and dreams to life, capable of building a better and brighter American future. The entrepreneurs working with America's Seed Fund remind us every day that we have the potential to build the future America we wish to see. And today we are honored to showcase just a few of the visionary companies and change agent entrepreneurs supported by America's Seed Fund. So as we emerge from a time of national grief and solitude, let us call our collective attention to the power we possess to improve the human condition and build the future America we wish to see and ensure for generations to come by investing our time and resources to nurture and sustain innovation rising up across all corners of our country. Innovation that powers our country's global competitiveness and drives the U.S. economy forward by creating jobs and giving life to the industries of tomorrow. Today, you will hear directly from several talented, trailblazing entrepreneurs and industry leaders helping to build a better and brighter America every day. They are role models to us all, and we are inspired by their work in service of humankind. But before turning the Zoom over, I'd like to introduce and give thanks to the incredible U.S. Small Business Administration team, in particular, Jonathan Alter and Jennifer Shee for their unwavering support and leadership planning today's event, and the amazing visionary and compassionate leader of the U.S. Small Business Administration, Isabella Casillas Guzman. Administrator Guzman was sworn in as the 27th Administrator of the SBA on March 17th of 2021. She serves as the voice for America's 32.5 million small businesses and innovative startups in President Biden's cabinet. Administrator Guzman grew up in an entrepreneurial small business family and has been an entrepreneur herself. She has invested her entire career advising entrepreneurs, launching new ventures, helping small businesses navigate government, and creating policies and programs to help advance entrepreneurship and innovation. She is a strong champion for public and private investment and support for innovation, as she sees how critical public and private partnerships are to ensuring our nation's long-term strength and competitiveness on a global stage. And she has advocated fiercely for financial relief for small businesses and expanding assistance to entrepreneurs in underserved communities. With that, welcome, Administrator Guzman.
Thank you so much, Bailey, for that, as well as for your leadership. You have been so creative and innovative in this role, which I know I've asked the team to be very entrepreneurial, but you've been incredible in stewarding the Office of Investment and Innovation. And you do really have an incredible team. Everyone should know that the Office of Investment and Innovation at the SBA has done an incredible job lifting this organization. But our moderators, our funding agency partners as well, are just incredible partners to making sure that we can continue to support all of our innovative startups. So thanks so much to everyone who's joining us as a presenter on today's showcase. And I want to welcome everyone to the very first America's Seed Fund Startup Expo. Expo. As the SBA administrator, it's my honor and pleasure to be the voice of America's 32.5 million small businesses and innovative startups in President Biden's cabinet. I get to be at the cutting edge of our nation's innovation economy through really critical programs that the SBA helps to power, including America's Seed Fund, which is the world's leading source of funding for advanced innovation, all supported by the federal government and the incredible agencies that partner on this program. America's Seed Fund, which is the Small Business Innovation Research, or SBIR, grants, and the Small Business Technology Transfer, STTR, program. Of course, we love our acronyms, but those programs, those powerful little acronyms, they deliver billions of dollars in non-dilutive capital to support thousands of early stage technology development and research projects and companies every single year. And as the federal agency tasked with making the American dream of business ownership a reality with funding and market opportunities and networks, we are committed to help ensure that the portfolio of startups in America's Seed Fund can get commercialized, launching new small business startups to not only develop the most advanced technologies to address some of our most intractable global problems, but also to create jobs and propel our economy forward, which we know small businesses do. They are that backbone of our economy. And we are in such a historic time, this incredible economic recovery from COVID. And since the president took office, of course, we've had to come through some serious disruption with Delta, Omicron, and the Putin war in Ukraine. But as we've seen, we've had the fastest economic growth in 40 years. The most historic levels of job creation in U.S. history. And we know that America's 32.5 million small businesses are the ones fueling this recovery. More Americans are starting businesses than ever. And last year alone, in 2021, 5.4 million people, Americans, decided to start a business. That's 20% higher than any year on record. And businesses under 50 employees are creating jobs at the highest rates ever recorded. So we know that they are the ones creating the jobs and really propelling our economy. They've pivoted and adapted all of those established firms during the pandemic to survive and thrive, and more businesses are starting. And we know that it's women and people of color that are propelling those startup rates, as they have been doing for the past decade. Which is why it's so important that President Biden and Vice President Harris have prioritized equity from day one, signing an executive order on equity and really challenging the whole of government to make sure that as we recover, that economic recovery is equitable. So SBA has scaled to better serve the needs of all of our great entrepreneurs and small businesses around the country. And our work in the innovation space is particularly important for our high growth, innovative small businesses from underrepresented communities. Because we know that too many entrepreneurs, as well as their game-changing innovations, don't receive the investments that they need to grow and thrive. And this kind of underinvestment is an inefficiency, and it carries opportunity costs for our economy. And eliminating those gaps is our priority at the SBA, solving those inefficiencies so that more of our entrepreneurs and the investors who evaluate, support, and fund them really reflect our changing demographics and our changing face of entrepreneurship. So we are working to leverage our new scale at the SBA, of course, during COVID relief, scaling from $40 billion to over $1.2 trillion in relief to support a new portfolio of great businesses, from the smallest of the small mom and pops to our established firms. With our expanded lending network and expanded community outreach to better reach more of our entrepreneurs to make sure that we can support them. We want to better connect as well to all of our innovative, high-growth U.S. small businesses with that patient capital, federal R&D funds, and entrepreneurial networks so that we can help them build and grow, because we need them to create those jobs and solve those big problems. President Biden does like to say that we need great ideas from everywhere and anywhere to help us solve the challenges we face today. And every day in communities across America, entrepreneurs are doing just that, solving those pressing challenges, from climate change to feeding and healing the world, and creating a resilient, diverse, and secure supply chain for us. So critical during this time. And it's our job at the SBA to ensure that the federal government programs can de-risk those cutting edge research projects and better create pathways to commercialization for more of our startups from everywhere and anywhere. And America's Seed Fund is supporting those cutting edge innovators right now in every state, helping to build a pathway from lab to market through a highly competitive process across 11 federal agencies who are so committed to advancing these innovative research grants. And I know our participants and many of our audience members are aware and familiar with the program and been engaged in some of its great success stories. But some of them you'd recognize instantly and have really paid off in terms of the federal investment in our economy. They include Qualcomm, Sonicare, iRobot, 23andMe, so many more in communities across the country. And the companies showcased today are just the latest, greatest, and have met initial success, and they're ready to keep growing. So we're excited to share and showcase their great work, spotlight the innovation that's happening through federal R&D. And these are U.S. firms manufacturing domestically, creating innovations that'll help other companies manufacture in the U.S., really powering a positive cycle of job creation and economic growth in America, right here in America. And SBA wants to help the private sector get familiar with these great programs as well as these great companies, as what we want to do with the capital markets is de-risk investment and make sure that we can get to yes for more of these entrepreneurs and their cutting edge technologies. And it definitely works through the SBIR STTR program. Everyone's familiar with the CRISPR gene editing technology. It's one of my favorite success stories. It was commercialized through Caribou Biosciences, which did receive early funding through the NSF and NIH SBIR programs. And Caribou has been quoted as saying that these funds really kept them alive during the early years when venture funding was not forthcoming. Federal R&D through SBIR has funded everything from 3D printing to clean energy and virtual reality. And this small business R&D set-aside program fills a critical need in the marketplace, seeding funds where the market isn't ready or forward-looking at that point. And we both invest in these early-stage innovators and connect them to resources and opportunities that they need to build and grow. And I know that unlike a lot of institutions that have to really focus on maximizing profit, the government's role here is that our bottom line is different. We invest public funds in America's Seed Fund because it drives economic growth. It powers innovation and really advances our global competitiveness, sparking new industries and creating great American jobs for the future. And that doors of opportunity we want to make sure can be open across America in all demographics. And the ROI that we do get from America's Seed Fund is remarkable. Studies by the Department of Defense have shown that for every dollar invested in SBIR and STTR programs have produced a $22 return to the economy. That's an incredible ROI, and these programs do a great amount of support in propelling our innovation advantage in the global economy. So I know that that's the excitement for today and why we're so proud to be able to showcase some of this work, featuring the small businesses that are solving big problems with the backing of America's Seed Fund. And the pandemic itself exposed many weaknesses in the U.S. and global economies, including putting a heavy strain on global supply chains. That, among other things, have really driven prices up on everything from cars to consumer electronics. This is a huge challenge. And some of the small businesses participating today are working on solutions. For example, driving next generation 3D printing technologies that can revolutionize the world of manufacturing, helping us make more things here in America. And Putin's war in Ukraine is another problem, adding fuel to the fire, driving up energy prices worldwide and really sparking global concerns of famine, from food shortages and economic instability overall. And companies we're showcasing today are tackling these issues head on with technologies to create climate and energy solutions, or ag tech and food security solutions, national security and defense products. And so we know that how critical these programs are to solving some of the R&D challenges that the agencies put forth, but also continuing to lead our economic future. I know that Bailey shared some numbers. I know across the federal government, we get about 33,000 proposals to these 11 agencies responding across all these solicitations for innovative research projects. And approximately 7,000 get new awards, and almost half of the companies each year are new to the program. That's important for a constant flow of new ideas and new entrepreneurs. These do include technologies of the future that are being developed now to mitigate these global challenges that I talked about, solving some of our supply chain challenges, and helping in health tech and ag tech and more, investing in our best and brightest, which is what the president is committed to do, investing in America to ensure that we can continue to recover. We have a strong foundation, but there's so much more work to be done to ensure that our economy can work for all of our families. And today's showcase is just a way for us to celebrate this federally funded entrepreneurship program and demonstrate success stories, which I hope will inspire future founders and others who are looking to participate in the program, but also strengthen the ecosystem around these incredible companies, more investment, more support for commercialization, and just overall resources to help them start and grow and build resilient businesses that can really strengthen the American economy. And so I hope today's conversations really inspire you all and encourage more investment and strengthen the ecosystem that the SBA is so committed to making inclusive so that we can build back better, as President Biden says. So thank you so much for joining. I look forward to these conversations. And I know that Bailey and team at the Office of Investment and Innovation will continue to propel these high priorities of equity and continued advancement of the American innovation in the global economy. Thank you, Bailey.
Thank you, Administrator Guzman, for your leadership and continued advocacy for a more inclusive innovation economy and support for small business startups. We appreciate your kicking off our great event today.